Welcome back, everyone. I am here working in our Thaumcraft room on what will become, if I can get there, what will become our wisp spawner. Oh, of course. Let's make a hole. There. So, it's a pretty simple setup. I'm going to put a wisp spawning safari net in here. It's going to spawn wisps, which are then going to be ground up in the grinder. Grinder will theoretically eject its fluid up into the fluid interface. I will need to test that. The wisps will be killed, and the items will come out of the back up this item conduit, which heads all the way up to the alchemical furnace. Simple as can be, right? Just a mess of cabling as well, but simple as can be. That redstone cabling is there because I am going to make it so that none of the wisps will spawn if I hit a lever up there. Okay. Fill this in with stone. As you can see, even though the spawner, the auto spawner, can spawn within kind of a 9 by 9, I've made this room 5 by 5, and that is because the grinder will only work in a 5 by 5. Okay, Robert, you will have to teleport out. Robit. I always call it Robit. That's silly. Oh, and I did not put the wisp in the spawner yet. I will need to do that before this build will be complete. Let's grab a safari net. We'll need more than that. We will need our hang glider. There we go. Let's clean some of this up. Okay. We will have to find a wisp. I believe there were several obsidian totem circles over in this direction. And those contain wisp spawners. There was one there. I have since taken it, so no wisps will spawn there, but I think there was at least one more. They are normally not very difficult to find because they change the biome around them to an eerie biome, I think. They tend to spawn up. There's one. High up. Yes. Exactly what I want. And it is in fact in my safari net. Excellent. These furious zombies are crazy. They get bigger and bigger as you do damage. I am very glad I have this sharp stabbity death, Tinker's Construct rapier that can really quickly tear apart a mob, and Pierce's armor will be very useful if we come to battling Thaumcraft bosses. Sorry, not Thaumcraft, Ars Magica. Okay, now we have our wisp. Let's go back and put it into its spawner. I need to work, I think, on the chimney here. Doesn't look... I think I need something to top it to make it look right. Alright, let's try this one more time. No, of course not. Oops. Alright. Put the wisp in the machine. It is not currently getting power because I have not yet finished that up. Let us grab a lever, though. Make sure that aspect of the build works. Good, it does. Now, let's fill this in. And hook up the power. I ran it out this far, and we just need to connect it to our already existing power line right there. Excellent. Now, theoretically, if we hit this lever, we can actually see inside a little bit because of the facades. Okay, it spawned. Let's see if it kills and... transports the essence. Awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to happen. I'm going to leave this on for a little while. This is going to build up our supplies of all different essentias. Okay. Now that we've done that, I think there is not a ton left to do in this Thaumcraft build. As you can see here, I added some obsidian totems. This is eventually going to be, some sort of enchantment. I forget the name of it. Let's see. From Thaumic Tinkering, it's this one. Infusion enchanting? No, that's when we do it here. I'm not entirely certain. I don't recall. Oh, osmotic enchanting. Yes, we'll put our osmotic enchanter here. The other thing I did, I had to unfortunately take this window out, but I added some drawbridges around our crucible here that allow us to quickly clear any liquid taint that comes out of them. I think I will need to add a similar button to our chimney, potentially, because for the moment we are just getting all of our gaseous essentia piling up here, which was kind of silly. Okay. I am going to do a little bit more preparing. We need to add more jars to this room. We will need some void jars, which specifically will get rid of any essence that exceeds its limit, and we're definitely going to need that. I will do that and then be right back.
Welcome back, guys. So I have prettied up this room a little bit and have it working, well, as best as it's going to. The wisps are spawning down below. The golems have access to all the jars. We have a jar, actually we have a pair of jars for every type of essentia. And they're in roughly alphabetical order. I took the, what are these, primary essentias, and put them here by themselves, because those are the most common that we're going to get, other than Aurum, which, as you can see, gets automatically drained with essentia tubes. I had to push the walls out a little bit up top so that the golems would have room to run on the actual stone here. They were having problems trying to run on the tops of jars. It just wasn't working. And I changed the door because I had a real hard time getting through it before. I moved too fast for single doors. Okay. There's one last thing we have to do in this room to make it fully functional. And that is to stabilize our infusion altar. So every infusion we do has a chance at instability. I think I caught it on camera, making one of the animation cores for these golems. I had once a water bottle get knocked off. That is just about the mildest form of instability possible. It can get pretty bad, and it can waste both your essentia and your, I guess, reagents here on the pedestals. So I want to stabilize this infusion altar. And to do that, you have to place additional items around it. And I'll show you what exactly we're going to do once we dig out the space. So I have to admit, I don't recall the exact dimensions that the altar checks to make sure that it has something to stabilize it. But I do know, and I remember from last time I made an infusion altar, that from under the floor we can go down an additional 3 levels and fill those in, and it will count them. So we're just going to do kind of the most convenient space below the altar, those 4 Z levels, or 3. So I just want to see what the limiting factor is here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of space in this direction. In this direction we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So that is what we are going to do. And why don't we dig this corner out here? Now, the item that we are going to use to fill in the bottom here is going to be heads. Heads are one of the items you can use. You can also use crystal clusters and I think a few other things, but heads are convenient in that our mob grinder has been producing them this whole time. So we are going to use zombie heads. And the important thing about this placement is it has to be symmetrical around the infusion altar. When it's symmetrical, that is how it stabilizes. Any heads that are asymmetrical in that region will actually destabilize the structure. So to add the heads, we are going to use the filler. We used it once before, a long time ago, and we will use it again. So the first thing we had to do is make Oh, I remember now. I did the wrong thing with the landmarks, but that's fine. I need to act upon the landmark that's in the corner of the two that I placed. So, here. Okay. So, to use the filler, we take the actual filler block and put it next to a predefined area that we've defined with the landmarks. And we can reclaim those landmarks. Then we have to tell the filler what mode it is going to be on. And for now, the mode is going to be clear. We want it to remove everything in that area. Then we simply need to put an energy cell that will export into the filler. And it should have begun. Oops. Oh. There's one more thing we have to do. Because the filler takes MJ, not RF power, we actually need a power conduit. The power conduits we use, both Ender IO and thermal expansion conduits, both auto-convert to MJ, but the energy cell does not. Okay, now we've cleared out the whole area, and my wasn't that quick. Let's just transform into a chicken so we can see the whole area. Awesome. Make sure this isn't a problem, and it is not. Ugh, I hate that when we get one block tall, we still take suffocation damage as if we were two. Apparently that's a bad interaction between the Morph mod and the Ars Magica mod. I'm going to make myself eventually an Ars Magica shrink spell, and that might work. Anyway, now what we want to do is change the mode of the filler to fill, and grab a bunch of heads. And if we place our conduit, or not our conduit, our energy cell down, we should see the whole area get filled in. Excellent. Now, the reason we have to do this one layer at a time... Oh wow, that did not take nearly as many heads as I planned for. Okay, let's do this. The reason we do this one layer at a time is because heads can only be placed on top of a solid block, but they will remain on top of an empty space or another head. So what we're really doing is fooling the heads into remaining where, let's be honest, they probably were not designed to remain. Okay, so we've got our square. Place down our filler. Unfortunately, this time I don't think we'll be able to... Well, we'll reclaim one of the landmarks. And then we'll make sure that the filler is in the clear mode. rinse and repeat. So I will finish up these 2 rows of heads, come back when I'm done. Well, here it is, our room of heads. And I believe if I turn into a chicken, maybe not. I thought I could travel within it as a chicken. Let's try jungle spider. This is the smallest creature I know how to become. Oh yeah. Awesome. I can actually, potentially, reclaim some of those extra landmarks. Ha ha ha. Awesome. Just want to see what this is. Oh. Just dark dirt, because this corner doesn't have any light. That's fine by me. Okay, so if we come over here, turn back, we can fill in our hole. And that's it, guys. Our Thaumcraft room is done. Barring me thinking of other things we have to do with it, of course. Which is always a possibility, let's be honest. But we have what should be a super stable altar. I think I did a little bit broader area last time I played, but I had 0 instability, even with some of the very unstable recipes. I'll have to see how it goes with some of those super unstable recipes. Oh, and I also think I'm going to add arcane bellows here to the alchemical furnace. All that does is make it act faster. But beyond that, I think we are well and truly done with the Thaumcraft room. Oh. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. You know, I'll also need to make the osmotic enchanter that goes here. But that is the mostly finished product. I am going to... Well, let's see. There are a couple of other things that I want to do this episode. Why don't we look at one of them right now? The extra utilities... No, extra cells. There we go. The extra cells fluid crafting chamber. This is something that I have. Oof. I have not yet made that will actually really increase the power of our AE system. It will allow us to basically produce recipes like those we find in the molecular assembly chamber, but it will be able to do them if they have liquid involved. So, for example, what we're doing now in crafting liquid ender is to add ender pearls here to the magma crucible, put that into buckets, and then move the buckets into the AE system. That's not necessary. Theoretically, if we import the liquid ender into the AE system as a liquid, we should be able to then craft with it directly if we have the liquid crafting chamber. So I'm going to do a little of this crafting off camera, and then I will come back to show you how I'm going to set it up. Okay guys, so I've made the liquid crafter, or sorry, fluid crafting chamber. We'll put it right here. Oh, I wish the colors fit more. Oh well, we have a crazy, strange, high-tech fountain. Okay, so in order to use this, we need to give it a pattern. By way of example, we'll use the pattern for lava stone. This normally requires a bucket of lava and stone. You can see that we keep lava in our AE system, 32 buckets of it. We're making that constantly up in the thermal expansion room. Normally though, to make this, I would need to fill a bunch of buckets here with lava and dump them into the AE system. Instead, what I can do is put the lava stone recipe into the fluid crafting chamber, and then from my AE system I can request lava stone, which it will then immediately begin crafting for me. That's pretty awesome, and there are definitely some things we are going to... Oh, that looks pretty cool. Oh, although if it lights things on fire, I don't really want it near my, you know, tons of wooden floors and walkways. I'll need to think about where I want to use this. Actually, it might look nice here in the middle. Anyway. Yeah, that's going to be super useful for some of our later projects. There are some mods that require a lot of items that have buckets of various fluids in them, and at some point when I have time I want to spend on it, I'll probably remake this system here with the magma crucible and fluid transposer, making our making our buckets of liquid end do something slightly different so that we can man, I'm just blanking. So that, oh yes, we can use this for more than one liquid. We might want to use this setup, for example, with redstone to make fluxed electrum and some cool tools that way. And we may be able to do that with a single machine better if we make use of this fluid crafting chamber. Okay guys, that's it for this episode. I am super psyched to get working in this Thaumcraft room. I'll probably do some of this off camera, get us some neat tools that we might be able to play with. Yeah, for next episode. And then next episode, I'm thinking maybe we'll do a couple of odd jobs around the base that have been kind of piling up while I've been distracted by the Thaumcraft room. But soon I want to get into blood magic, which is going to be really cool and really powerful. Thinking I'll put the blood magic stuff over here. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.